Hello and welcome to the Donny Chaingnag. We're back for another week here at the Full Speed Event Studios, live in our subterranean palace stroke, the dungeon. It's time to head out very shortly on to Leith Hill, on to Leith Hill After Party. The Surrey Hills playing home to the Chaingnag. But before we do that, I've got to say a massive thank you to everybody who has joined up and signed up as part of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingnag Supporters Club that keeps the show on the road, particularly those who are going to head over to Nonna's. You can see somewhere over there the Nonna's symbol, the team at Nonna's, Stefano and Maurizio, going to be looking after some of the members this weekend on Saturday night. So it's going to be myself as well as Emma, and Russ going to be down there with some of the gang. Can't wait for that. It's going to be great fun, and we always know we're going to get looked after when we're down this part of the Donny Chaingnag Supporters Club, and a big thank you to all of the team down there. Now, Tuesday saw a cracking ride on the members-only Chaingnag, which is for those members of the Supporters Club. Absolutely storming ride on that. Congratulations to those who took the win at the front. Commiserations to those who didn't. But I know everybody setting some serious big performances down. So well done to everybody who was on there. Now, Today we are going into London on Leith Hill. Our riders getting ready to head out from the pens. The countdown has just gone, so it's time for us to head in. Leith Hill finishes at 42 kilometres. Our yellow beacon is once again Russ Downing from the Downing Cycling Coaching team, from Pro Espresso, from Fuel.cc. So make sure you jump on board Russ's social media, and of course give us a mention. You can see down here. Get hold of me, give us a follow. The more follows we have, the easier it is for us to keep on bringing you the Chain Gang. It's that straightforward. So please give myself, Matt Fixpayne at Biking M, and of course at Russ Downing a follow, because the more follows we get, the easier it is for us to do this. It is really, really straightforward. Now, the gang heading out from town, and it's looking like on our screens that it is moving pretty well. There are one or two late joiners. Just going to have to do a little bit of a scream to get on to the back of the gang. Don't forget, we've got a late join on there as well, but I think it's looking pretty good to me. Let's run you through the route before we go any further. So you can see over on the side over there somewhere, right now, it is our animated map provided by Zwift Hacks. A big thank you to the team at Zwift Hacks. As always, providing us with loads of information as well as with fellow viewers. So essentially what we do is we go round the greater London loop, the classic loop that we use out and around the circuit. We go round twice before on the third time of asking as we go round. Instead of going back in through the Mall Sprint, we're going to go round Hyde Park and drop down to the river, as you can see our blue dot is doing, and then take a right-hand turn, run across to the base of Leith Hill, and then we make our way up Leith Hill, weaving our way up until we get to the summit. The KOM or QOM banner at the top is the finishing point at 42k, and then there's a 3k warm down. Now, the gang just starting to get itself together, so let's jump in with them here on the Donny Chaingnag, live on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel with myself, Matt Payne, from Full Speed Events. So our riders making their way out from the Tower Bridge area of London, making the way out from the velodrome, which magically has been transported pretty much into where the city of London is. At the moment, the back of the gang are pretty much together. One or two riders just at the back. Looks like Ted Tunnicliffe doing his traditional chase from the rear of the group to get himself back in. Ted, one of our members of the Donny Chaingnag Supporters Club, and it's good to have Ted on board. He's going to be chasing his way onto that yellow beacon, the group, as you can see on the top right-hand side of your screen, just in front. So you can see our satellite navigation or our radar view. One rider just dropping back a little bit here. That is going to be Sir Mr. Yates. Jesse Yates in with us here, just taking it nice and steady at the moment. The man who was in absolutely storming form on our last Chain Gang. If you were watching, thank you very much for joining us. My name's Matt Payne. It's an absolute pleasure to bring the action involving Jesse to the screens. Jesse Yates, of course, son of Sean Yates. And Sean, I know you watched the show last time. Thank you very much, sir, for watching. I've had lots of pleasure watching you in action over the years, including, infamously or famously, me and my brother handing you up cans of Coke on the far side of Home Moss on the Leeds Classic one year, where we were screaming from one side to the other, and actually we enjoyed watching you all ride up Home Moss in your big chambering when we were struggling to get up in our little, when we were generally there, but we'd scream from one side to the other, hand up cans of Coke. That was the year of the Tulip Race team in action with certain Robert Miller and Alan Piper at that time. But we were screaming backwards and forwards, handing up cans of Coke in our 4x4, cutting across from the base of Home Moss, across to the far side, near the Flouching, the road from Flouching down into Holmfirth, and we were handing up cans of Coke because, of course, we knew that you're not going to take a bottle off us, but you would take a can of Coke, and in fact, you did take several, although a couple did end up on the road as well. But yeah, had a lot of pleasure watching Sean over the years. Right. Let's leave Jesse to this chase because, to be honest, he's going to get back on. He's absolute class on a bike, as we'd expect. And making his way in with Ted onto the back of the group. If we take a little look back from the group, you can just see Jesse along with Ted, on the way back to the gang, looks like we've got Vodka and Tonic on board. Vin and Tracy. Can't imagine who would give them such a dodgy nickname. Sorry, guys. In here, it looks like Tom Lindley is in as well. Not so young Tom Lindley. In fact, it's been a long time since we called him young Tom Lindley. A product of the Chain Gang. Not sure we should really take responsibility for it. Maybe Vin can do that. So next up, just making our way up through the gang. Who else would it be but the one and only Russ Downing. We're going to try and get a head-on shot. Russ just tucked in here. Try and get a side view here on the Pinarello. Lightweight wheels though today to get himself up the top. And at the moment got that yellow beacon over his head as well. The gang making its way down the straight, looking pretty smooth. Everybody together, making their way along the Thames. It's never that empty when I go there. The Thames is usually loads of boats, but maybe you just can't see them in the mist. The dank darts Pea Super that's down there. My dad used to tell me tales of him in the 50s riding through London in pea soup fog conditions, with a gas lamp, an acetylene lamp on his bike on the front and rear. He didn't have things on the bikes like battery lamps then. So a acetylene lamp on the front and back of his bike in the fog, in the smog, trying to make his way through London in the proper pea soup smog way back when. So, yeah, it's looking a bit like that today. Phil Hall saying, don't we have enough rain outside? I quite agree. Now, we'll just drop a ride on Russ. He makes his way down there. Don't forget you can follow Russ at getfuel.co.uk. Subscription coffee. So, you know, like, some people are crazy enough to get capsules and have capsules. And they're dead convenient and all that malarkey, but they're not quite the same, in my humble opinion, as having a proper coffee machine that makes you proper coffee. Well, you can do for the similar price, if not the same price, if not cheaper, and Russ has got all the details, a proper full all-singing, all-dancing coffee machine and a coffee subscription, but you need to get to see Russ to do it. So basically, get in touch with Russ at getfuel.co.uk or message Russ directly. He can tell you endless things about coffee, believe me. So can I, but I don't sell it. Just talk about it and drink lots of it. Okay. Let's take a little bit of a jump across. Looks like Andy Whitehead in here. Dan Ladle in. You can see Dan on the gang again. Another of our regular riders in here. Mally Taylor on board. Just sitting near the front of the group on the way up this climb. Just going to run through Steve Catlin in here. Sean Moore looking pretty smooth on here. Young Mr. Taylor as well. Tanks for the plug, yeah, it's no problem. There is a water tank on a coffee machine. That's why Russ has used the word tank. He's so engrossed. He's absolutely absorbed in coffee so much that his vocabulary is turned into coffee machine parts. There we go. Okay, let's take a little bit of a rundown. Fuel coffee, always the way to go. Okay, just going to run a little bit further down through the group here. Chris Ball on board. You can see he's in here. Rusty's using AI. It's got him covered. Just as long as it's not in coffee grinds, that's fine. Eddie Dench on board. You can see Eddie been out and doing a lot more. Mr. Berkey Cross in here. You can see we've got Leon Mazzoni in here. Oh, this is going to make things interesting as we get in towards the end of the ride. Leon is good on this course. We've seen him in action on here before, and he's made life difficult for people. So at the moment, Leon Mazzoni in, tucked in. We've got some of our youngsters in here as well. Great to see all of our younger riders in and riding on this. So, Finn Davis, 15 years old. He's still 15, Finn. You seem to have been like that age forever. And ever and ever and ever. And Finn Davis in on board from Wales. Just taking a little run through who else is in here. Richard Samuel in here. Carl Johnson. Mr. McCarthy in here. Paul Malin on board. Mr. Mason. Do you not get enough riding in the Surrey Hills, mate? That is Gareth Mason, a.k.a. the Fat Cyclist. We've got Mike Killingsworth in the gang. No surprise to see Mike on board as well. Mike, one of our regular riders on the Chain Gang. Keith Richardson is here. Going to be bumping into Keith one way or another this weekend. And really looking forward to the catch-up. I'm really looking forward to Saturday night. Down at Nonna's with some of the true hardcore of the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. It's going to be really good fun. It's ages and ages since I've been to Nonna. Must be at least a day. Okay, let's take a little bit of a look. And you never know who you're going to bump into when you take a trip down to Nonna's, because it is such a hotspot of Donny Chaingnag activity. I'm not going to say a single word about who was there, but let's put it this way. I was there, and Professor Emma Martin was there as well on Wednesday. Okay, and we bumped into lots of other people. Well, a few other people. Okay, Mr. Whitehead in here. We've got Darren Topless of Pine Cycles in. Good to see he's on here. Dave Robertson, Simon Chopin in. Jamie Pearson. Nick Rudkin on board. Dr. D. Good to see Rowan Dubash in the gang, looking good. Nice and smooth in here. Dr. D in his trademark green. I'm going to try and get a little bit of a view of him. Let's run our drone camera around a little bit here. So Dr. D looking nice and smooth. Sam Emsley on board. Steve Hilbert in here, another of the Sherwood Pines. Massive. I hate that word, massive. You'd be expecting him to say things like in it blood as well. And that's not going to happen. Oh, I just did it, didn't I? Sound like my younger brother from when he was like trying to be all hard and cool. He wasn't, believe me, either. Okay, let's take a little bit of a check. Mr. Wilson on board. Is this Steve? I suspect it is. Let's take a little bit of a look. You'll know by how follically challenged he is or isn't. It is Steve indeed. He has got plenty of facial hair in there and nice kit as well, sir. I do like that. The grey kit there. It looks very good. Lord Greg Pillsworth, Lord Sir billion times over Greg Pillsworth on the gang. Nicely tucked into the side of the group there with the red and black training kit on there. Looking good. The What Bike kit just on the gutter side of the group there, just inside of the Tron bike there. And interesting to see lots of lightweight wheels making an appearance here as well. Not just the traditional full-on aero wheel setup that we see a lot on the gang. So a few people may be looking to see if they can do something on the hills. We'll see. So on our way around the upper loop, making our way in and around, let's do some quick reminders for you. Hopefully these are the right things and it hasn't reset itself like it did on the WoW last night. We'll take a look. Here we are, Leith Hill After Party. So we've done our lead-in. We are out on our lap. Remember the key number, 42 kilometres on the clock if you start with the group to get on to the top. And let's give you a really good indication of exactly what that looks like here. So today's route is basically laps around. You can see the small bump that is there at 4 and 6K, 16 and 18K, and then 28 and 30K. That is going to be very interesting, making the way in and round. That's a little lumpy, bumpy section. Well, the little lumpy, bumpy section is to run up and then down into Hyde Park corner, under the underpass and out the other side. It is that small. The big climb starting at 36K, taking us up to the 42K marker. And you can see all of that yellow and red all at the end of the climb, all at the end of the route. So it really is absolutely key that you've got your pacing right tonight and you fueled up. I would suggest that the Nonna's Risotto, Nudja, is absolutely superb. If you fancy something different, then the menu absolutely divine. I've never had a bad meal at Nonna's, and I never will, I'm sure. So the gang looking pretty smooth. The group a little bit fractured at the moment. You can just see if we zoom in a little bit of a gap. Oh, it must be Mr. Finn's birthday again. Let's have a little look. Now, let's take a little bit of a check. Yep, one group at the front, just splitting away from the Yellow Beacon group. A few riders off the back as well. Can the front see yellow? Yes, to go into the rear view mirror. Interesting part of the course, this. This is good. Finn Davis, now 16. Well done, Finn. Update his age. Happy birthday, mate. I'm not singing happy birthday for you. That's not going to happen, but yeah, well done, buddy. I could sing happy birthday, but I won't. We don't want everybody to switch off or turn the sound down. That would make me kind of redundant. So through this tight little section, through the U-beds in here, through the turns, the group coming back together again. Always good to see. Simon, a.k.a. Sean's Runnit's oldest birthday, 24. Mate, you are old. If your daughter's 24, I can't say anything. Our family's all getting older, one way or another. They're all driving and about to hit the roads. That's really dangerous, scary thought. Good to see the happy birthday still coming in. Jim Flynn there with the latest of the happy birthdays, Finn. Russ, don't make me feel really old. Norman is too soon. So, Norman Downing is going to be 2 years old soon. I tell you something, I bet, Russ, you are absolutely looking forward to. We love kids, we really do, we all do. But, you know when he goes to nursery, like part-time, do you know how much that is going to, how good that will be? I can still remember that change. It has indeed flown. But then again, we've been doing the Chaingnag for over 4 years coming up this season. It's been a long, long time. We did 2 years consistently without a week off. Then we've done 2 full winter seasons on top, if I remember correctly. Mr. Greg Pillsworth, the terrible twos. Yeah, everybody remembers that. Tom Lindley, even he remembers when Russ was out there. Keith Richards, not long before he drops Russ on a hill. Give it 11 or 12 years. That long? How old's that going to make Russ? Russ, how old are you going to be in 11, 12 years? Are you going to answer that one on air? We'll see. Don't work it out. It's scary. Russ indeed has had a day off. Greg Pillsworth, his eldest is 31 soon. Boy, you were busy, young. Where's Jimmy these evenings? Jet, where is the wolf these evenings? He's kind of become redundant. Russ is here pretty much all the time. And Jimmy's probably doing something incredibly worthwhile, like leading groups of people out into the wilderness and developing their social and interpersonal skills. The message board busy tonight with everyone going, is that really nearly 2 years ago? It's a scary, scary thought. Okay, so our riders on the way in. The gang looking good. They're on the side of the river. Keep an eye out. There we go. Past Battersea Power Station. It won't be long before we are on the way past a couple of really famous Bond sets as we make our way through. Not train sets, Bond sets, like James Bond film sets. Well, that's quite a lot of London, to be honest. So the gang looking good. Just going to take a quick break. I've just got a little bit of admin behind the scenes to do. I will be back on here in a second, but we will no doubt catch up with you very, very shortly indeed. Talk amongst yourselves. So apologies just for disappearing off into the ether there for a short while. Just doing a little bit of an update on a couple of things, but that was really, really important on the way through, including looking after some of the members of the DCG gang, which is always key. Good to see you in with Beefy from Cycleways here. Beefy looking as resplendent as always in that classic Beefy skip, which is the one we always see him in. I'm just going to try and get a little bit of a view of Beefy's. We're going to get him head on. We'll see if we can get a side view of Beefy. It's on the yellow Tron bike in there with the beard on. So good to see Beefy. There we are. Knew he'd give us a wave. So Colin Bell of Cycleways. Don't forget, remember, support the people who support your sport there all the way across the bottom of the bar there. Full Speed Events. That's myself here today from Full Speed Events. Matt Payne. Bringing the action here. It's also Emma Martin, who is the organiser, the red and yellow beacon of the WOW that was on a Wednesday Chaingnag. WOW DCG as it was before, and of course commentator for things like the Tour Boudica and the Iceni races that will be coming up in March on Zwift. We've also got a couple of people who work behind the scenes in terms of tech and also in terms of the researching for the commentary. So we're here. It's Full Speed Events 1080. Well, who doesn't love a set of Oakleys? Always very important. Did you get a set of Oakleys for Valentine's? Did anybody get a set of Oakleys for Valentine's? If you did, I hope you got them from 1080. The best prices in the business, and they look after the members of the DCG gang. Goodyear tyres, bike tyres, as well as Continental tyres. There is a 30% discount for members of the DCG gang, and your last opportunity to use that will be in March, because we finish at the end of March. Downing Cycling, that's your D in the centre, the DC in the middle. Downing Cycling, of course. Russ here from Downing Cycling, the coaching that looks after all of the riders under the Dean Downing, Russ Downing banner, as well as their associated coaches that are on board. Get in touch with them. If you want to go quicker, it's the best way to spend your money rather than on bike bits. But we all love buying a good bit of bike bits, so if you need some nice carbon hoops to put on your shiny Pinarello or your latest acquisition, or maybe your old acquisition, then don't forget Halo Wheels, discount for the members of the DCG gang on there. Notice looking after our riders this month. Really, really key. Supporter based in Exel Road down in Sheffield. Please do jump on board. Support the people who support your sport. Get on down there whether you're out for a ride or you just want to go out for a very nice meal out. Go dive on down and say hello to Stefano else down there. Gritty, of course, we're looking after our riders in November. Big giveaway from them. And, of course, we've also got a discount all the way through the season with Gritty. Sustainable sports apparel, minimise your impact of the kit that you're wearing on the environment. It's sustainable. It is the most environmentally sourced kit, the best it can get in the business. So please do jump on board with them. And of course, OTE, who gave us a 30% discount over the Christmas period for all the members of the DCG gang. And don't forget, of course, 20% discount from OTE right the way through till March if you're a current member of the DCG gang. So please do jump on board. We are going to put a play out. We have costs that run right the way through the summer here at Full Speed Events that are associated solely with the Donny Chaingnag. Don't think that everything that we do here is just using the same set of kit, etc., that we use for the commentary, whether that is the BMX, the mountain bike, etc. It's not. We have costs here. Now, we don't get all the money, of course. It is a co-production between Russ and myself, so between Downing Cycling and Full Speed Events. But the proportion that comes to us, the half that comes to us of those donations, once we've done that, they cover our costs and they will help us cover the costs over the summer. So please, 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 if you do fancy contributing, giving us a little bit of a hand, then please, please, please do jump on board. We want to say thank you, so we give you loads of great discounts. You'll soon get back the cost. So if you've not joined all your bit, you think, do you know what? They haven't done a bad job, really, that Ross and that Matt on the Donny Chaingnag. I really enjoyed it. then please do join up for March and jump on board. There's discounts from everybody that you see on screen at the bottom of your screen all the way in and through. Really, really important because we do, certainly here at Full Speed Events, there are costs that will stay with us all the way through the summer that are only to do with the Donny Chaingnag, not the commentary. So please do jump on board. And if you get a chance, donate. Don't put yourself in financial trouble, though. We did this to support people, and the amount of time that we spend is definitely disproportionate to the amount of donations we get. We would definitely could find far more profitable ways, like cleaning out toilets, for example, if we were looking to make some money. Okay. Right. On the way down, just in with Gary Preston, just heading down the mall here on Zwift. Got to say a massive thank you to Zwift. And they are the one logo that we don't have up because they do look after. Just got to say a massive thank you to Jace Bailey on the gang. He is an absolute star when it comes to keeping everybody on the road. They have looked after the events for us here at Full Speed Events for a while. James is obviously contact that Russ knows well as well, and he is instrumental in Zwift, not necessarily having the best of times at the moment. So our regards to James and all the crew. So please, please, please do get in touch if in doubt with us. And don't forget, we are here right the way. We do exist through the summer. It's usually really busy. The commitment to run all the way through the summer, increasingly more difficult for both Russ and myself and the team here at Full Speed Events to facilitate, which is why it eases back off again. But that doesn't mean, of course, that there's not loads of rides going on Zwift as well. And I'm sure everybody will keep in touch on the Donny Chaingnag Facebook page in that period as well. Big subscribers, big numbers of people on there. So please do jump on board. We always like to hear what you guys are up to from there. Okay, the gang on its way around at the moment, and looks like the group just coming underneath Admiralty Arch. Indeed we are, so coming up there. It looks slightly different in real life. There's actually more arches than just one. It's 3 arches, if I remember correctly. The central span plus 2 at the sides, all of which are gated as well. Then underneath T-Square, or Trafalgar Square. T-Square is the Universal Events shortening for it. Just in with Nick Rudkin. Good to see Nick back on the gang as well. And it was good to see the message there from Vin that Nick Dorsey says hello. As well. Nick, of course, the best dressed man on Zwift. I don't know about in real outside sort of scenarios. Mr. Mason, talk to me off air about that. Give me a shout. You've got my number. I know you've got my number for a start. Good to see Gareth on here. Yes, you don't need to get my attention on the screen, buddy. You can just message me directly. Okay. So Finn Davis with Tom Lindley just rolling around the back of the group as we come up the climb, and then just taking away down. That's Green Park on the left of the riders, just over the shoulder of Tom and Lee. Interestingly, Tom going for the full-on lightweight setup here. Come diving down. Lots of the really fast sets of legs just at the back here. Just putting in that little bit of extra work at the back by dropping off the group and then rolling forwards here. Good to see Mr. Campbell on board from the Flyboys on here, the RF Cycling Association in with us as well. I'll be very interested to see how Mr. Campbell... what rank are you, sir? Do I need to call you sir or not? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure what rank he is in the RAF. So down under the underpass, Mr. Davies just doing a little bit of a roll on here. It's nearly 7 watts per kilo. Dave Robertson just being distance to come up the climb here. Rob Osmond's back in with us. Rob, do you know, I've missed Mr. Osmond. Keep on catching people. To say the 68 riders, it's taking a little bit of running around at the sides of everybody to see who's on here. Just seen Tim Byrne go through, I think, round about here. Good to see Tim on. Tim is absolutely flying at the minute. Definitely a rider to watch out for when it comes to the action later on. He's been very, very active, very strong. And good to have Tim on board from the Sitwell squad. A lot of coffees going in at the moment. 32 minutes in. 32 minutes in as we turn away down the side of Harris. You can just see the Harris just lit up on the left of the riders. Just going out behind him as we come down through Kensington. That's if my geography is correct. Going to just make our way down and away from the Serpentine, which is the blue just on the top of your screens. We head down towards the river once again. Gang looking good, pretty smooth roll out at the moment, not too quick. One or two people just starting to feel the pace at the back. Ooh, Mr. Mason, some strong climbers on tonight. Holwell favourite. Good point, Reginald. That is a very good point. Is Mr. Holwell. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. Jesse Yates was putting some absolutely flying attacks. Be interesting to see where he goes. Getting a great workout here. We won't discount any of our youngsters, but we've got some pretty fast riders on the way up as well. Phil Holwell's really noticeable because he's really quiet at the moment. I'm loving Mr. Campbell. Yeah, my money's on the fat cyclist to go clear. Well, only if it's on his way home. Simon Oxenham has been riding strongly. Can't discount Simon. Will he be out today? Aaron Cooley's been riding strongly, but I think somehow it's going to be about the climb and about being super lightweight. Here we go. Found Mr. Hotwell. Here we go. Fantastic. Now we're in with Phil Hotwell, a rider who many have down as favourite today. He's tucked in the middle of this group. We're going to try and get up above him here. So he's got the flat cap on with the yellow and red, hiding in at the way, being very, very smooth now. Byrne, Hotwell or Yates. That could be very interesting. But here we go. Phil Hotwell just emerging out from the pack there in the orange and red on the orange Tron bike. Flat cap on as well, which is always good. Making his way up, more and more people just losing ground with the group at the back of the pack here. So it looks like Liam Mazzone's going to be on a bit of a mission to try and get himself back in again out the back. Keith Richardson is distance at the moment, unusual to see that. It looks like he's gone pop. Looks like the back of the group at the moment being held by Chris Spale from Road Morgue CC. So Chris Spale on the back of the pack. Keith Richardson just about to make contact once again. Liam Mazzoni with a massive job to do. Leon, what happened, buddy? He's distanced off the back. He's going to have some serious work to do. He might have the lightweights on today, but he's going to struggle to make those come to the fore here as we go down along the river at the minute. You can just see we're going underneath the rail bridges here. We go up over the top and across the river there. Tom Linley saying Mr. Yates. Surely not. Well, maybe it will be, to be honest. Not sure it's going to be Leon tonight. He's absolutely motoring. A mechanical Leon. Oh, mate. He's got a mechanical at the back. That's not good. You have to fix puncture. That's been done before. Neil from Gritty had a tyre blowout. He was on a wheel-on trainer at the time before he got a... It shows you how long ago it was. He was on a wheel-on trainer. And he blew the rear tyre out. This is before he was on a direct drive. In the days before direct drive was the norm. It blew out. He stopped, fixed the puncture, slapped the new tube in, put the tyre back on again, blew it all back up, jumped on board, and still finished the ride. He wasn't anywhere near the group though, but this is not. This is going to be a bit of doing now for Liam Mazzoni. He's at the back. He's currently sitting in what is 65th place out of 68. This is not where he's going to be. Does he need some crumbs? He does not. So it looks like Keith Richardson just rolling back. Can we get anybody else back to go give a hand to Liam Mazzoni? He's got a bit of an issue at the back. He's had a puncture. He's had his hopes deflated, metaphorically rather than physically. Looks like Finn Donahoe's going to be doing the same. So like this is going to be interesting. So Keith is dropping back. Finn Donahoe's dropping back. Mr. Mason is dropping back here. This is what the chain gang's all about. Warn you though, guys, he's coming at 5 watts per kilo. Like an absolute rocket down to the side of the Thames. You're going to need a speedboat to keep up with him. Look at the power go down here. Keith Richardson, 10 watts, 12 watts per kilo, 13 watts per kilo. Big sprint on his way through. We do worry about you, Leon. Don't worry. Not just because you come from the Isle of Man and we know that you're quick. But here we go. This is going to be about having a few breadcrumbs out of the back. He's going to get them, whether he likes them or not. So this is going to be the case. Here we go. They are making the way in through. Leon Mazzoni with a train of riders. Keith Richardson, Chris Cadham. They're all really winding this up to getting back onto the group as fast as they can here. And I think they're all going to jump on. Every little bit of draft helps. Remember, the draft on Zwift, I know it says 6 metres. Don't believe it's only 6 metres because it isn't. It does actually have effect further out. It's just not as big. Where you sit is absolutely key. All part of the warm-up system. I'm loving his attitude of doesn't matter what happens, I'm going to be in there at the finish. Fantastic stuff. Leon, somebody who lets the legs do the talking. I'm loving Tom Linley's. I don't like the sound of that. I don't blame you. Right, past our right-hand turn, where next time round we'll be taking the right-hand turn. So we have one more lap of the standard circuit. Oh, looks like there may be a rainbow bus forming. It's a Refreshers bus at the back. Refreshers Lollies bus with vodka and tonic, if they're going to be going. Mazzoni saying thank you guys in case you missed it on your screens. Looks like vodka at the back of the group. I think Vince Legs just feeling this. Interestingly, gone for the lightweight wheels and the aeroframe. It's a combination I actually quite like. Aeroframe, but with the lightweight wheels, because they're not bad actually aerodynamically. When you take a look, go on to Zwift Insider and have a look at the different stats on there if you're into your physics about how the wheels ride. And you can see the predominance here, lots and lots of sets of lightweight wheels for tonight, because they are a very good wheel to ride. I have to admit, I am not a fan of the Tron bike. It might be the best all-round bike, but Keith, it is the lazy option. Hate to say it, buddy. Tron bike is a lazy option. It basically means you've gone for the bit of best of everything, rather than focusing in on what you need. Unless you need a bit of everything, like me, in which case, or a bit less of everything, because you've had too many pizzas and beers, or pizzas and ciders, or pizzas and red wine, or pizza and anything, really. You can tell I'm obsessing about pizza because I'm hungry. Do like a good marching band as we make our way around the circuit tonight. My brother had a thing for marching band music. I was talking to somebody today who played trumpet in a marching band. Today's random fact for you on the Donny Chaingnag. I've never been in a marching band. I can't play a musical instrument, so, well, not properly. Do we know how long the cooldown is? I think it's 3K. Let's tell you up on your screens. Here we go. 3K. Leith Hill Climb March is at 42K. And then we warm down to the blue banner at 45, so it should be 3K. Oh, the go has gone. At the moment we put up where it is to finish. The go has gone. It is green for go. It's time to hit the accelerator. Who is going to be able to stay in when this brutal acceleration goes? Let's get our helicopter up in the sky. We're in with Liam Mazzoni. He's only just got back in with the group here, and you can see there is all sorts of carnage forming in this group. Now, as the riders are aware, they've got to go chasing down the straight. Russ is going to be leading them out the bear, attacking as they come down here, heading down and in around. They've come from Hyde Park Corner. If I remember rightly, there used to be a bear pit once upon a time on Hyde Park Corner. If I remember my London history correct, and in St James's Park as well, actually. As they come down the straight, less said of that, the better these days as they make it down, way down. Tim Baggs leading this out on the front of the group. He's gone a little bit clear. Big pack chasing, so this has gone on a downhill section going away from the wedding cake. This is going to be tough stuff here today. And look at the group. How spread out is this as they make their way down? Keith Richards is going to be in trouble. Nick Rudkin. Looks like Tonic and Vodka may well be forming a bus at the back here. He did say that it might be a rainbow-coloured bus. Well, it's looking like it's going to be that way out as they make their way down the straight. Carl Johnson's got Rudkin. We've got Flynn. Chris Canham in trouble. Keith Richards down topless. They come down the straight. Keith Richardson distance from the group. Simon Runny, a.k.a. Sean, a.k.a. Simon. We'll see you on Saturday, buddy. making his way down the straight at the moment. He's tucked into this group here, but it is strung out at the moment. You can see on the map this big pack on the front. Now, after that initial brutal kick, this looks like it has calmed down somewhat. You can just see there's one or two on the front winding it, but he's not super crazy at the moment on the very front of this, he says, looking for the very front of the group here. Go up to the front, it's Lord Greg Pillsworth himself who's winding it up. He's all over the place, playing with the steering, can't you tell? So in around underneath T-square, taking that tight left-hand turn, led out by Greg Pillsworth. Josh Malin from Halo, and the man who practices what he preaches. Another of our key supporters of the DCG gang on board. Good to see you in action, sir. So here we go, Pillsworth, then Malin, then a little bit of a gap. Russ making his way onto the back of the wheels. Then Sean Moore comes chasing behind in fourth wheel. Malin kicks again at 9.1 watts a kilo. 3 riders trying to go clear off the front of this group behind them. Moore is trying to bridge across the gap here. He's just about coming, but he's bringing the rest of the group up behind him here. And you can see that the 3 leaders, despite their efforts at the moment, are not shedding too many riders as they come down this straight now. Right-hand turn. If they went straight on, they'd end up in St. James's Palace. They don't want to do that. They want to take the right-hand turn that comes up and up the hill. This actually is really quite steep in the real world outside, in the sun or rain of London. As they go away from St. James's Palace up on to the climb. Now this is a good kicker coming up here. It's interesting on the way down when you're racing it out for the run into the finish on the mile. On the way up here it is brutal, and Lindley now making his way up towards the front, but you've got to watch out because the one and only Jesse Yates has put in a big dig over the top there. Yates has gone for this early. Can he ride clear from here to the finish? We saw him go super early when we're in Scotland. Surely this is just about softening up the legs of the group behind. Dench is at 3 seconds, Lindley at 3, Moore at 6 seconds at the moment, as is most of the rest of that group. This, yet again, is another attack. I tell you something, I wish we had a combativity award or one of the multicoloured jerseys from the 1980s Tour de France. Children remember these. When you used to get the combined jersey, which was like the combativity award, the sprint jersey, the polka dot jersey, the green jersey, the white, the yellow jersey. It was all in like a combine. It was like a jester's outfit. I like that sort of combination jersey. I thought it was really cool. But Yates would definitely get it today. Either that or the commentator's prize for being the most aggressive rider of the day and the most combative on the way through. Now, heading down in, interesting, John Wild is in here from Velloview. Now, this is a course that could suit John here today. He's always there or thereabouts from Velloview. Got to say a big thank you from Velloviewer. Quick reminder, because we're going to see that come up on the side of your screens at the moment. And that is the Velloviewer graphic. You can see that we are making our way around the loop to the right-hand side of that graphic. As we come around those twists and turns, we're going to make our way down to the riverside. When we're on the riverside, then we will be going across the bridge, under the underpass and onto the big climb. And you can see from that graphic that it's up there. Don't forget that Velloviewer is powered by Strava, and it gives you all of the details that you need on the way through. We're just in with John Wild of Velloviewer at the moment. He's not our youngest rider of the group, but I'll tell you something, he's the man you need to watch out for. I've seen John racing out on things like the urban cyclocross that we supported. He's a very quick rider indeed, and certainly somebody not to discount when we come in towards the finish. Definitely a rider who could mix it up. Get yourself subscribed to Velloviewer. Again, remember, support the people who support your sport. You can see them on your screens at the moment. So let's lose our graphics off the side. Here you could just see the riders making their way down and in. We're in with Pearson at the moment. Lady Dancher nicely tucked in here. On the front though, it is Tim Byrne of Sitwell CC just going through. He's got Pillsworth, Cooley, Davis, Mayland, Holwell's in here, Lane is in here, Muncaster, looks like Bolton, Oxenden, McHawkins in here, Lobo's in here, Jesse Yates in as well, Taylor's in, Russ Downing in here, Lindley's in here, Steve Catlin. It is a select group of riders in that it's not everybody who started off at the same time. Just dropping back here, I make it 34 riders up in front, potentially. Wilson and Cohere are in the chasing group, which would mean that we have 27 riders in front. Let's take a little bit of a check. It's a little bit tricky to tell with the way that Zwift is running on the way down this straight at the moment, but as Whitehead goes up onto the front, he's shown as 28th, which would mean that there are 27 riders in the leading group. That is still a huge group of riders as they make their way down this left-hand turn kick from 80. Dench here now. Dench winding it up on the front, going now for 8 watts per kilo. Dench starting to wind this up. He's opening up a gap here as they come around the twists and turns. He's got 3 seconds in the space of pretty much 3 seconds. Absolutely hurtled around those bends using the disguise of the turns to get cleared. Now 4 seconds. It's opening up some more here as Dench continues to push on the pedals. Dench will want to keep it hard as going the hard man from the west side of Sheffield here. A man who doesn't care whether it's rain or shine. He's used to getting wet. The former and now back, current being a triathlete, back out swimming again. On the lead at the moment, he's got 4 seconds, 3 seconds to Moore, who's trying to come across the gap behind him. You can see they're not coming, and Moore is going to have to put a sprint on here. If Moore and Dench get together, this is the way to break it up for the younger, lighter, super fast riders, is to really make life difficult for the riders behind and to make the youngsters really work for it at the moment. So here we are, Norman shouting, go, 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 AD. AD Dench on the front. Has he got company yet? Is he going to get company? It's Moore who's coming towards him. Davis working hard to bring that gap back down again as well. They're coming down. They're going to go underneath the railway bridge. Moore's having a sprint to get on Dench's wheel here. And it shows you how consistent that power is that's coming out. Then Tim Byrne currently sitting in third wheel. He's on the chase here. He's got the aero pushed in here. He wants to come across. Now, is anybody going to find themselves in trouble out of the back of this group? Remember, this was 27 riders in this group. We're going to take a little bit of a check back to see if it's still 27. I think it is. I think it is still Whitehead and McCarthy who are leading. So Whitehead who's leading the chase. So still the same number of riders. A little bit of a gap starting to occur though with that chase that's coming on. They can't let that gap open up. If the gap forms, if there's air in between you and the rider in front, you are going to be in trouble here. Mazzoni tucked into the group. So Leon Mazzone in the pack, in the group, right with the Bear. The Bear working his way up, but look who's with him. It's only Phil Holwell now. He's the danger man. When will Phil Holwell decide it's time for me to have an attack, to put in a punch? His timing has been superb of late. He's absolutely got dialed when to kick, when to push, when to accelerate, when to use that effort. As Downing comes up and through over the top now. Downing goes up into the front of the gang. He's opening up the throttle again. We're coming into towards the right-hand turn that will take us across Vauxhall Bridge and down into Vauxhall Tube Station, which is nowhere near where it is in real life, but it works for Zwift and it works for us here on the Donny Chaingnag. Downing leading this out. Pillsworth behind him, not letting him get too far. Pillsworth pushing. I've just seen a 7.1 watts per kilo coming out of Lord Greg Pillsworth to make sure that this keeps the pace nice and high. The riders running in and through, so it's Pillsworth leading this out now, having gone over the top of Downing. The group, though, are right on their heels. This gap is not opening up sufficiently to be decisive, and at the moment they are not shedding enough bodies. So Russ making them work, as he says. He's got to keep on pushing here. Holwell's on a bit of a push, though. Look at this. Here we go. Is this the moment? He's not going to let Pillsworth go. He doesn't want to let a gap open. This is going to be very interesting as they come down. They're heading in towards the bridge around this long sweeping left-hand bend. Here we go now. We're just in with Holwell. They've opened up a little bit of a gap here. They're soon going to be taking the right-hand turn. But Holwell looking good as he comes along this section of the side of the Thames. It's not going to be long before he takes his right-hand turn. But he's not got a decisive gap. Moore chasing hard behind. 8 watts per kilo coming out from Moore, who's leading the group up on to the heels of Holwell. Holwell round the right-hand turn. The group are chasing behind him. You can just see that they're coming round, and there are bodies now starting to struggle with the pace that's being put in. Big kick coming from Downing now as he tries to make his way across the gap. He's going to want to make life difficult. Can anybody go with him? They are sitting there. They are not coming round him, but they are taking that toe. He's going to bring this down. He's at 10 watts per kilo as he kicks on down the straight here. And at the back of the group, we are seeing bodies losing touch with the group here. This could be very, very dangerous indeed. As we see, I think Mick Hawkins just about holding the back of the group. We're going to go down into the tunnels. I think McCarthy is the rider in trouble who's been distanced. So has Bolton here. So the leading group diving down into the tunnels here. This is where things get very interesting indeed as it comes shooting onto the wooden boards laid over the tram tracks down here and over the tube tracks as they go down in. And you can just see this group has broken. We've lost 3 or 4 riders. Dench in trouble now. Off the back of the group, he's got Hawkins, he's got Taylor for company. He's got McCarthy, it's not all that far away, but the leading group now have got to decide when they're going to go. Can they contain Phil Holwell on here? When will Jesse Yates go? Liam Mazzoni's had the push. It's Russell Shout, go, go, go again. It's time to keep kicking. Don't sit back and leave this to the very last bit of the climb because you're handing it over to those climbers as we come in. We've taken the right-hand turn. This is now where we start running in and across towards the base of Leith Hill. If we pull up the top left-hand side of your screen, we're on that little spur that goes from the loop that runs across towards the base of the climb. Russ is gone for another dig on the front. He doesn't want to make this easy. We will see how it is. Tom Lindley's got the energy to take. Well, he may be gone, not go, go, go as they come on. Let's drop out our 3D version and let's pull up our 2D version up onto your screen. So we're on that run across. We're on our way in towards that 36-kilometre marker, then onto the hill proper. This is all about that push as we go up on to the climb. The gradient is about to kick in. The riders' legs are about to feel this. The leading group are dropping riders one by one. The attrition started from that go, 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 and we are seeing more and more riders go. I think Sam Emsley now, yeah, looks like the wheels have fallen off Sam Emsley's wagon here. Sam had just been distanced by that leading group. Bernie's in with them though. This is your leading pack. Who is going to go? Is anybody going to ghost the way up? Might be what is needed here to put the attack in. We're at 9%. The gradient is kicking in. This is where we expect to see our riders starting to push harder. Lower up on the front of the group at the moment. Holwell is not far behind him though. It's ominous that we have got Phil Holwell making his way to the front. And now are we going to see the wind up coming on? Are we going to see the pressure applied by Phil Holwell enough to start breaking this group? They are strung out in a long line here on the climb. 7% gradient around the tight right hand turn. Remember that this gradient will go up and peak towards the top third of the climb here, and this is about making sure that you are in position. More starting to struggle here in the light blue in that type 1 diabetes kit here, just making this one his way up here in front of Campbell of the RAF Cycling Association. He has got riders behind him, including the bear. Looks like Downing's legs have gone. He's left them behind. The caffeine has taken its toll. It looks unlike he's not got the power to stay with him now. Here we are. This is going to be very interesting. I'm loving the shout from Lindley. Ease up, Phil. Yeah, like that's going to happen. Holwell doesn't know the meaning of ease up. We're going to come into our left-hand turn here. Here we go in around the side here as Holwell comes around this turn. We're going to take a little bit of a look back. The gradient eases to 0%. It's a sweeping turn. Group of riders behind him, and that is going to be about 5 riders by my reckon, 6 riders by my reckoning here. Lindley, Davis, Mazzoni, Yates, Wild, and Mayland. They are the riders on your screen. Mayland in the orange from Halo Wheels, one of our key supporters. Jesse Yates, watch out for the distinctive touch in the Training Peaks blue jersey. In the black with the flat cap, that is Leon Mazzoni. You've got the orange Tron bike and the headband, 1970s at its best. From Finn Davis, whose dad is definitely old enough to remember the 70s in some regard. Phil Holwell, he's the man at the front, though. He is leading this out, and the gap is now at 6 seconds. Holwell leading the group up here. The gradient has eased, but if you see the top right-hand side of your screen, you can see that we still have plenty of climb. We finish at the banner, at the polka dot banner at the top of the climb, the KOM banner that goes across the top of the hill. Now, Leith Hill finish is tricky. You don't see the banner, the archway, until about 50 metres before it. So it's really, really key to get a gap, because if you get taken unawares, if somebody jumps, you can be in trouble. The group behind, they have plenty of people to worry about in here. We've got Finn Davis, we've got Jesse Yates, we've got Liam, and so we've got John Wild in here. John just took to our right of our screens, the left of the riders in here. Bright yellow Mavic shoes on, nice and easy to distinguish. They've got with them Tom, not so young anymore, Lindley, in the Lamprey-inspired kit. He's on his way up here. And the two behind, Moore and Campbell, are still hovering at about 3 seconds here. With this slight easing in gradient, Moore and Campbell could come back on here. Moore's put a dig in. We're just going to see him coming, and he is bringing with him Campbell from the RAFCC here. They are going to make contact here, and that means that the fight for second place, which suddenly has opened up. Mayland's just put a kick on the front. Let's see how he goes. He's just opening this up. Jesse Yates is squeezing to go with him, but Mayland is not wanting this group to come back together again, and Josh Mayland saw the threat of the riders behind coming up behind them. He could see that they were about to make contact, and he squeezed on again. So now Mayland, Lindley, Davis, it's going to be Mazzoni, it's going to be Wild, who have that gap at the moment. And it looks like Campbell have lost it. In fact, Mazzoni is in the group behind here. My apologies to Finn Davis. Davis is up the front there, and it's Mazzoni who could be in trouble. Is he paying for that big chase back on again? You can just see our helicopter showing he's making ground onto Moore here, but he's got to keep on working. He cannot afford for these gaps to go, and he's got to get onto those wheels really quite quick. The steepest part is yet to come. At the moment, though, Mazzoni's pushing on here with Moore. He could take Moore across this gap here with the effort that Moore's putting in. Who's putting in some big turns here. We're seeing him kicking at 8 watts per kilo at times to try and bring this group back. They're working together here to close down on this group, led by Mayland, who are all chasing Phil Holwell on the front of the pack. They are on the way towards the steep section. The gap has opened up 16 seconds to the chasing group with Josh Mayland and Finn Davis in here with Jesse Yates in the group. Then we have got Mazzoni and Moore at 5 seconds. Campbell is at 14 to that group. You can just see at the moment we've got Pillsworth chasing Osman, Lobo Chopin. We've got Cooley, he's about 35 seconds down on that group. He's very much in the area of our yellow beacon. In fact, here he is. It's Ross Downing. Behind him, Tim Bernady Dench in there. Then Lane and Pearson, not all that far behind. Emsley, after coming out of that leading group, coming into 25th position. Simon, a.k.a. Sean, is going to be sitting at the edge of the top 30 here. So these riders make the way up the climb, but the rider right at the very front, it is Phil Holwell, who has opened the throttles. He has gone clear. His profile picture on Zwift may well be with the Ribblehead Viaduct on the 3 peaks. A very accomplished cyclo-cross rider, very accomplished mountain biker, a fast road rider, and boy, at the moment, he is the man to be on the Donny Chaingnag. He is regularly stitching it to the road at the moment with that move lower down on the slopes. He now has 20 seconds. Yep, 20 seconds lead to Josh Mayland. Mayland back on form once again. He's got John Wilder and Velaviewer. Good to see that Halo and Velaviewer both up in this group. And Yates is not far off the wheels. Young Finn Davis right on the heels here. A very strong cycling pedigree in Finn's home. And good to see that we've been keeping an eye on the family because we know them well. And looking very, very strong out on the bike together. Now, just taking a little bit of a run back down. Moore again, just in trouble. 6% the gradient, 2 seconds the gap. Another big kick though coming from Jesse Yates. Yates has put a move in here. He's wanted to shed this group. He wants to thin it down a little bit here. We are not that far off the top of the summit. Holwell is 13 seconds up the road here, but he's coming into the steepest section, and Holwell is losing time here. 11 seconds is now the gap, and we can see him in front. That in front of Jesse Yates is the shape of Holwell. He's the rider on the orange Tron bike, and look at this. Yates is coming after him. Yates is on the move. This could be close here. He's going to make his way up. He's let Holwell do a whole load of work up here, and then it's almost at will. Yates has opened the throttles. He's kicked in the afterburners, and he's making his way up to Wells Holwell. It looked like it was a done deal. We're coming up to halfway up the steepest section, and Jesse Yates cannot afford to sit down at this moment in time. He needs to feel like that saddle is on fire. Somebody's put drawing pins on that saddle, and he can't sit down because his legs might be burning. But it will be painful to try and get back to Holwell, only to see it slip away. But here he goes, big move. He's on his way, and Phil Holwell is going to see him coming. He knows he's coming up behind him. Has he got an answer? They're on 10% slopes here. Holwell, 5.7 watts per kilo, 8.7 on Yates. Yates has gone past him. He's there going to be a response here from Holwell. There is. And I thought Yates was going to blast past him. That was a move. It's brought to Jesse Yates back into contention when he was heading into oblivion behind. He's kicked on. He's made his move. We now have 2 riders at the front of the Donny Chaingnag. Time is running out to get to the finish. Now we go round the left-hand turn, round the right, and then it's a sharp left again. Now, Yates has used energy here to get onto the wheel of Holwell. Holwell is in front. There is next to nothing to choose between these 2 riders. They are 2 absolutely class acts when it comes to riding a bike. You've got Jesse Yates from down by the base of Ditchley and Beacon, out making his way up. The Sussex rider now attacks. He's continuing to push here, and he's going to put the Peak rider, former Peak RC rider, Phil Holwell, into trouble, or is he? Holwell's got an answer to him, though. Anything you can do, I can do better. It's my turn to have a little bit of a dig, but he backs off again. The respect between these 2 riders. Neither is committing 100% yet. They don't want to give away too much. They don't want to go too deep too soon. You can see on the satellite navigation view that that finish is going to come into sight. Time is running out for the riders. It comes into sight in the last 50 meters at the most, nearer 20 depending on where the riders are positioned and what view they are looking at. We're in with Jesse Yates. He has got Holwell almost alongside him here. This is going to be a real nail-biting finish between these 2. Holwell or Yates, who's your money on? Time to take your choice. We know Holwell's got a sprint. We know Jesse Yates has got a sprint. Yates now starts to move on the side, and Yates has kicked first. 11 watts the kilo coming from Yates. He's putting the attack here. Can Holwell respond? Holwell's lifting it, but he's not lifting it up. The dust is coming off the wheels, and Holwell is eating it because Jesse Yates bridged across in fine style here today. He's gone to the front. What a move. What a man. Absolute machine. He comes in under the country, and I'm not surprised he's freewheeling. The win to Jesse Yates on the Chaingnag. It's Phil Holwell coming through in second place. What a ride by these 2 riders. I tell you something, that was impressive. Yates with the fastest time up there. Class says, oh well, both class riders there. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. At the moment now, the next battle is coming. Now, it's not John Wild on his own, because right behind him is Tom Lindley. This is going to be interesting. Has Lindley got anything? Come on, Tom. Get on the old man. It looks like John Wild, the master, is still going to remain the master. The apprentice behind is still coming. It's going to be a fantastic, or is it third place? It's on the line. Oh, he gets it. John Wild just holds off a rampant Toblini in the last few seconds there. For top 4 place, it's third for Wild, fourth for Lindy. It's going to be a brilliant 5th place for Moore. He was yo-yoing off the back. Behind him, 6th place at the moment is going to be Finn Davies. Davies has opened the gap to Pillsworth and to Mayland after Mayland was in contention for so long, along with Pillsworth. The gap has opened. It's a 6th place for Finn Davies. Good ride by Finn. Happy birthday for yesterday, buddy. It's 7th for Pillsworth. It's going to be an 8th for Mayland. A 9th coming up. Lindley accidentally unclipped. More time spent on technique. Smooth is good. Elton Lobo comes in through. He's going to be in 9th place. Simon Chopping going to be in. He is quite literally going to orchestrate the move that is going to take him through to the top 10. I know it's got 2 Ps, not 1. It's going to be an 11th place today for Leo Mazzoni after that fantastic chase back. On his way up the hill, it is going to be Campbell. He didn't quite achieve lift-off speed today. He couldn't quite stay with that leading group, but he is going to come through inside the top 15. Another fine ride on the Chaingnag by Ewan Campbell. Going to try and get my breath back. What a finish. So Campbell comes in underneath the arch here today with Cooley and Muncaster kicking their way into the line. Great racing, great riding on the Chaingnag. Russ is putting a bit of a dig. He's not leaving it to the last second. He's going to roll Cooley on the line there. It's Russ for 13th, Cooley for 14th. It is going to be Muncaster for 15th, I think. Then going to be Osman. Good to see Rob Osman on his way up here. He has got Tim Byrne on his wheel. Byrne is coming. It's going to be close on the alignment. Osman must know he's there. He's lifting his pace. It's going to be Osman in 16th. It's going to be Osman in 15th. Byrne in 16th. Barker's going to come through, I think, immediately behind him. This is going to be really, really tight here. So Barker 18th. It's going to be Hawkins going to be in 19th position. It's going to be a 20th place for Simon Oxenham. He's ahead by about 18 seconds of AD Dench, who went on that mission early on his way in towards the climb. Another fine ride by Simon Oxenham as he comes in underneath the line. Then, here we go. It is going to be AD Dench. Dench out of the saddle here. Good ride by AD and good to see him coming back into fine form. Back into a position to challenge, to animate some racing on the way through. Now, Lane is behind him. 8 seconds down on AD Dench, which means he's on his way into the gantry. Great riding here today by the Cams rider. So well done to Chris Lane. Job done in and over the line ahead of Jamie Pearson. Pearson putting in that aero as he starts to pick up pace over the top here. He'll pick up a new power up on his way in and through, and really key to make sure you utilise as much as you can. So Jamie Pearson comes in through the line ahead of Samuel Taylor. Taylor will be inside the top 25 today, 24th, as he comes up on to the top of the climb. 4 minutes 45.5 seconds for Jesse Yates. No surprise, he's at the top of that leaderboard. He came from the back of the group to the front to take that time. Good riding by him as Taylor eases down. Richardson follows him in and through the line. Keith of the Donny Chaingnag part of the team that bring the Tuesdays to you, looking good. Sam Emsley, after that big move on the front, staying with him for so long, in ahead of Bolton. Bolton comes through ahead of Steve Catlin, who goes in ahead of Ted Tunnicliffe of Chef Rex CC. Then it's going to be Mr. Runnit. We'll see you at the weekend. I've made sure that we have a George, Simon and Sean nameplate for you, buddy. Behind him is going to be John Dixon of Bolsover and District. Good ride by John. Again on the Chaingnag. Then it is going to be Craig Forrester. Craig, the BMCC rider, not all that far behind John and Ted at the moment, as they come up in through the gantry ahead of Mr. Whitehead. So Andy, I never know. On his way in for Rock CC. He's ahead of Chris Spale from Rue Morgue CC. They're going to be inside top 35 here today. So the kick comes in as he makes his way up. A man from Rumor comes in through the line. Then it's going to be Mr. Wilson. I was saying, looking forward to seeing everybody on Saturday night. Wilson makes his way up over the top of the gantry. Then it's going to be a Ruddyman. So good to have Mr. Ruddyman back in with us. Josh in over the top of the line, followed by Mr. Forbes. So James Forbes, Chris Goddard. He's our next rider in through the gantry, just ahead of Rowan Dubash, Dr. D, who comes up in towards the archway. Then it is going to be Mr. Hilbert, I think. We seem to have dropped back a long way there from Chris, from Steve for some reason. I always call him... Steve has a son called Chris. For years I commentated on Chris Racing, right at the front of races. And I now cannot get Chris's name out my head when I talk about the Hilberts. Because they're both absolutely talented riders. Steve would probably admit that Chris is probably a little bit quicker. Right behind, Stunner goes in over the line. Then it's going to be Chris Ball, another of the regulars. Good to see Chris down by you near Staveley. That the Chesterfield Canal Trust starting work on the Staveley, the new replacement bridge down there. So if you're down on the Transpennine Trail, Chesterfield Canal Trust starts making light work down there of a lot of the ground down there where they're about to put a bridge in to extend that canal side further through an area a lot of people will know. Mick Clark comes in over the line ahead of the riders behind. It's going to be Dick Samuel who chases him through. Good riding by Dick. Then it's going to be Dan Ladle who's up on the climb ladder on his way through. We've got going to be John Garford, Keith Richards, John Gale, Gary Patterson, Darren Toplish, Chris Canham, I think Lee Allen, Nick Rookin, Vin Donahoe, Jim Flynn, Tracy Seeley, and Mally Taylor, I think, going to be our riders in the group to come. So looking good. Looks like the multicolour bus. We've swapped out the red bus. I think Vin and Tracy today just doing the bus duties because they're absolutely shattered. Been doing rather a lot of riding, looking after the gang on a Tuesday. So Ledell comes over the top. I'm not surprised, easy enough at the end of that climb. He's ahead of John Garford from the Royal Navy. John, send me a message. Tell me why Royal Navy, not the Royal Marines, Royal Navy in there. Because for a long time it was the Royal Navy, Royal Marines Cycling Association. But it's just Royal Navy this time around. Is it just so that you can fit it all on rather than putting it in all the letters? Let me know. Send me a message. It's at Matt Fixpain. You know my message, Joe. You can send a message anytime to me. Make sure you catch up with me on social media. Do a lot more than the Donny Chaingnag, oddly enough, on the mic. Brought the BMX World Cup. If you haven't watched it, either watch the highlight show, 26 minutes of BMX action, or watch each of the days. Now, that is available on Discovery Plus with myself and the BMX commentator, Rich Eames. Rich Eames. Don't worry, he might be from Lancashire, but he's a good lad nevertheless, and he's always welcome here in Yorkshire and Derbyshire for sure. Do catch up with the action from the BMX World Cup. That was last weekend. We were through the night working on that. I've got a regular esports show that goes out on a Sunday morning. Do catch up with that. Follow me for the details on that, or at Biking Emma. Don't forget that we have got the Donny Chaingnag. That is going to be on next Thursday. We've got the WOW Chaingnag. The women's only Wednesday by Full Speed Events. That's going to be your Wednesday's Chaingnag. We also have coming up a few more other entertaining bits and pieces. The XCE, the mountain bike cross-country eliminators, coming up very shortly. That season's about to kick off out around the world. We have been bringing you the cyclocross included in the World Championships on the BBC and across multiple platforms. The global feed that comes out goes round the world, and then occasionally some of the broadcasters will put in additional commentators or a different commentary team for their particular region, particularly if, for example, you speak the language spoken in Outer Mongolia. I have no idea what that is. It might be Kazakh. Then oddly enough, you're not probably going to understand it if you're listening to me on the English language feed, but you might do, because we do have people out and around the world. So please do tune in. Jump onto at Matt Fixer Payne, at Full Speed Events, at Biking Emma for details of all the commentary. Don't forget to follow Russ and the getfuel.cc, the Rocket Espresso man himself, Russ the Rocket. Now, of course, bringing you the Chaingnag leadership. Oh, and a nail roll there by Chris Cadham. The answering kick from Gary Pattison saw him off there, but that was close. Pattison almost jumped by Cadham. He got his own back on him there. He managed to kick back in time to take that great sprint between Gary and Chris. Well done, guys. Next up is going to be Darren Topless, another of the stalwarts of cycle sport in the Midlands. Darren Topless of Pine Cycles. And remember, we say about supporting the people who support your sport. Pine Cycles, based in Sherwood Pines. A fantastic bike shop, really friendly, and out there putting on races, rides, as well as, of course, as being one of our commentators, essential people for making both mountain bike, cyclocross, etc. run in the region. So please do jump in with Darren and support the people who support your sport. Not just sponsoring the team at Pine Cycles, but also, of course, the shop down there in the middle of the woods. Same for people like Beefy at Cycleways, etc. You know how it is. Make sure you look after the people who look after your sport, support your sport, and you can see them all across the bottom of your screens. They all need your support, and of course, at the moment, all of the month, it is a classic Donny Chaingang month of February, because this is when people are getting ready to ramp up into the spring. It's when we start to see the classics getting ready to kick off, and we start to see the coverage coming out. So do jump on board, get yourselves down to Nonna's. If you're miles and miles and miles away and can't make it to Nonna's, they've got an online shop. You can buy some of the best ingredients in the world online and get them delivered to your door. Do it. It is well worth it. Okay, Nick Ruckin, next rider in through the finish here today. Good to see Nick back on the Chaingang. He makes his way underneath the KOM arch here today, looking super smooth as he goes over the top as Lee Allen, Vodka and Tonic, Tracy and Vin. Tonic and Vodka in this case, because Tracy leading on the way up. Then Jim Flynn and Mally Taylor, all on the slopes of Leith Hill at the moment. And that means I think I might have a little bit of time to do a little bit of housekeeping as Lee makes his way in towards the line. A quick reminder, please do make sure you give the people that you support in sport a follow. Give Jesse Yates a follow. A really interesting social media presence from Jesse. Don't forget, of course, that the UK scene needs your support, so make sure that you follow your local teams. For example, our local team here out there is the team from Sheffield, the Ride Sheffield team. They are a fantastic team. Make sure you jump on board with them. Great work being done by them, and lots of support from the local cycling community, the Team Sheffield guys out and about. Dave Coulson and the gang looking after riders, developing the sport. Looked after by local businesses, and very, very helpful with lots of the stuff that's going on in the local scene. But wherever you are in the country, there will be a local team giving you support. Jump on board. Every follow that you give them helps them in recruiting sponsors, and it really, really does work. It is literally true that sponsors, that the people who give out contracts, and this is for commentary as well, they look at followers. They look at the people who follow you. They look at the people who send it out and send it out around the friend. Just liking, no, give it a follow and do that on your way through. Really, really is important. Now, Leon in and through the line. Next through will be Vin. So Vin makes his way in underneath the gantry. So Vodka through, followed by the Tonic. Get in the right order. Here we go. So Vodka and Tonic in through the line. Vin and Tracy in and through. Maybe not long enough for Vin and Tracy of their epically, stupidly long double wrap of 500 over the new year. Tracy taking the Leith Hill jersey. No surprises there with the speed that she's gone up that climb. Behind him, Jim Flynn. You know, he can see the sunlight starting to poke out through between the trees. You can just see a gap in the wood as the road goes over the top of the climb. So Jim will be on next. And penultimate rider coming in to the finish. We'll give him a ride on. One of the riders we haven't given a ride on yet. I don't know what's going on there. It's not like us. Can't catch everybody. So apologies if you did miss that one. We do try and cover everybody on the way through and on the show as well. Please do not hesitate to get in touch. It's at Matt Fix-Spain. Give us a follow on social media. I know I sound like a stuck record, but it really, really, really is important. Now, As he comes through, Jim Flynn makes his way underneath the banner here today. At the top of Leith Hill, he's going in and into that warm down. The Donny Chaingnag with a fixed finish point, and then he rolled down on the way down and in as he goes in and through, goes his way out. Which means that Manny Taylor now on to the upper slopes will be on last rider in and through the finishing line. Manny, as always, a very strong rider. Good to see Michael Taylor fighting his way to the top of the climb. He's not all that far behind Jim Flint here on those slopes. Out of the saddle in between the woods here as the butterflies and the dragonflies all surround him as summer comes out there. It may not be summer where you are, but clearly it is on Leith Hill. I'm sure Gareth will let us know if that is the case. So Taylor out of the saddles, kicking down on the pedals. We are going to leave Mally to his final ascent here on the climb. And so we make our way off. In fact, I'm going into a production meeting for something else in a second. So it has been great putting words to the action here today. A fantastic ride. What a win. What an exciting finish as it came into that finish. And as usual, the Donny Chaingnag doesn't disappoint. Hard day on the bike. It ain't easy. It's the Donny Chaingnag. Now, next week, the members-only ride on the Tuesday goes to the Queen's Highway. We're up to Yorkshire on the Wales course that was based up there. Ever so slightly wet one. It won't be as wet on Zwift, I promise you. Queen's Highway, 43 kilometres. That's on Tuesday. So if you're a member, you know where you're heading. On Thursday, we have the Champs-Élysées. So we are in the home of the Tour de France. Can Jesse Yates replicate the number of times he goes around that circuit as many times as he's done? I'm not sure. I don't know. We will see. I'm not sure if Sean can remember how many times he actually made it round there. I might have to look that up before the next show. Don't forget, if you want to jump on board and join in, whether you want to join the gang or you want to join the supporters club, whether or not you want to make your way onto the gang, come and join us on a Tuesday and Thursday, then you can do that. It's www.buytickets.at/ love doing that. Anybody who knows the show, / Full Speed Events. www.buytickets.at/ Full Speed Events. Please do jump on board there. This way you can register for the Chaingnag for free for a Thursday. Join the gang. Be able to ride on Tuesdays, get all the discounts. Join the WOW DCG, the women's only Wednesdays, if you're eligible, obviously. Don't matter what your avatar looks like. It's what you've got on your profile. And, of course, don't forget to catch up with us where we're out and about. We are going to be heading to Nons for our next Donny Chaingnag-related activity on Saturday. I'm looking forward to seeing the members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingnag Supporters Club, who are going to be there. Guys, I'm going to be working the next morning, so I'm not stopping out late, so make the most whilst we're there. From me, Matt Payne, from Russ Downing, from the whole of the gang, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.